Fast forward to today, and my business runs beautifully every single day without me being involved in the day-to-day. Hello, and welcome back to the Blissful Mompreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Hall, and I'm so grateful you're tuning in today. In both 2019 and 2022, I baby-proofed my small business so it could not only run without me, but to thrive without me, allowing me to take 2 precious 4-month maternity leaves with my babies. Those moments were made possible by the team and systems I put in place, and now I'm on a mission to help you create the same freedom in your life. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, no one can do it like I can, this episode is for you. Today we're talking about how to build a team so capable that you can confidently step away from your business, whether it's to spend more time with your family or to prepare for a well-deserved maternity leave. I know this struggle all too well. When I was pregnant with my first child, stepping away felt impossible. I was working 60 plus hours per week, teaching the majority of the lessons and handling all the admin work myself. But by the time my second baby came around, everything had changed. I had a thriving team in place that allowed me to step back and truly enjoy that time with my family. In today's episode, I'm sharing how I made it happen and how you can too. Before we dive into how to build a rockstar team, let's talk about the mindset shifts that need to happen to allow your team to take the reins and truly succeed. For years, certain beliefs kept me tethered to my business, holding me back from scaling, growing, and ultimately stepping away when I needed to. These beliefs might also be holding you back. For the longest time, I believed that I was the only one who could handle specific parts of my business. For years, this belief centered around teaching. Every time I hired a new teacher, I'd hear complaints from students or parents. They'd take one lesson with me and then request to study with me instead. And I'd think, see, no one else can do this. Looking back, the issue wasn't that I was some extraordinary teacher or anything. There were so many amazing teachers out there. The problem was I didn't know how to hire the right fit or train and onboard effectively. The same thing happened when I hired my first admin. She didn't do the things I wanted, and my reaction was, if I want it done right, I guess I have to do it. But the truth was, I hadn't set her up for success. I didn't hire the right person, I had no systems in place, and I didn't provide proper training. All this fed into the belief that I had to do everything myself. Fast forward to today, and my business runs beautifully every single day without me being involved in the day-to-day. I spend my time focusing on high-level strategy, not admin tasks or putting out fires. The change came from hiring the right people, keeping things simple, creating systems, and onboarding effectively. Another major hurdle I had to overcome was my need to micromanage. I vividly remember when COVID hit and we had to pivot to remote teaching. I was terrified. How was I going to retain students? How could I make sure my teachers had enough work to sustain their livelihoods? When I'm anxious, my default is to try to control everything. So I started taking responsibilities away from my admin team, thinking that if I micromanaged every detail, the business would be okay. And to be fair, it didn't fall apart, but it also didn't grow. We lost many students, and I wasted so much energy trying to do it all, instead of empowering my team or focusing on opportunities to adapt and expand. Looking back, I know that if I had stayed calm and trusted my team, we could have come out of that period even stronger. That experience taught me that micromanaging doesn't protect your business, it holds it back. That was another belief I had to let go of. Now, there was one more belief that I needed to accept. The reality is, team members will make mistakes. It's inevitable, but nothing they've done has ever been catastrophic. And honestly, mistakes are opportunities to educate my team and refine my systems so that those mistakes don't happen again. I truly believe that every mistake has ultimately made my business stronger. Whether it was a misstep in communication, a scheduling issue, or even something else, it has allowed us to tweak our processes and improve. So your business will not burn down if you loosen your grip. Empowering your team and trusting them to handle things isn't just necessary, it's how you build a stronger, more resilient business. You can't grow or take time for yourself if you're doing everything on your own. Now that we've identified the mindset shifts you need to make, let's move on to the actionable steps to start building your Rockstar team. So here is my 5-step strategy to build a Rockstar team that will allow you to step away from your business without sacrificing quality or growth. So the first step is getting crystal clear on what you actually need help with. Start by writing an exhaustive list of everything you do in your business. Don't leave anything out. Include the big tasks like service delivery or marketing, and then like those smaller ones like checking emails or posting on social media. Once you have your list, go through it and highlight the tasks you can delegate. These are usually things that don't require your expertise or things that drain your energy. From there, you can start to identify the roles you need to fill. For smaller businesses, this might mean starting with a part-time virtual assistant who can help with admin tasks. As your business grows, you can add more specialized roles. For example, at Heart and Soul Music Academy, I have 7 team members, 5 teachers, and 2 admins. And all of them are part-time. This structure allows me to have the support I need without overcommitting to full-time salaries. The key here is to think strategically about what tasks you want to offload and build your team in a way that fits your current needs and budget. Even one part-time hire can make a huge difference in freeing up your time and energy. Step 2, hire for fit, not just skill. This step was really a game changer for me. Early on, I made the mistake of hiring solely based on skill. I'd basically ask the questions of can this person teach? Can they manage a schedule? Can they respond to emails? And if the answer was yes, I'd hire them. But most of the time, those hires didn't last. And they honestly caused more problems than they solved. Everything changed when I started hiring for fit, aka alignment with our mission and values. I infuse our mission and values into every part of the hiring process, in the job description, the application, the interview, and even onboarding. Once I started bringing on team members who truly believed in what we stand for, everything became smoother and easier. They not only do their jobs extremely well, but they also contribute to the bigger vision of the business. When you hire for fit, you're building a team that's passionate about the goals of the business, and they're motivated to see the business succeed. Step 3, systemize everything. All right, let's talk about systems. If the idea of documenting every single process in your business feels daunting, don't worry. You don't need to have everything perfectly documented before hiring someone. In fact, I recommend against that. You can create your systems as you go. And in many cases, your team members can even help you build them. The key is start thinking in systems. Ask yourself, what steps are required to complete this task? And how can I make those steps repeatable and clear for anyone on my team? Over time, these documented processes become your business playbook, a resource that ensures consistency and quality no matter who is performing the task. And I love how at this point in my business, when I hire someone new, I spend about 3 days training them, hand them our playbook, and they're able to hit the ground running. It's such a time saver and a game changer for onboarding. But it wasn't always like this. For a long time, every time I brought on a new team member, I had to teach them everything from scratch. It was exhausting. Over time, though, we started building our playbook. Every time a task came up, we documented it step by step. Sometimes it was missing steps, but then when we would review it, we would add those missing steps. And now all of this is stored in Asana. That's our task management system that we use. And every team member has access to these SOPs, and they can refer to them whenever they need to, which means fewer questions for me and more autonomy for them. If you're just getting started, just pick one core process that you do regularly, like answering emails, onboarding clients, or managing schedules, and document it. You can even just record your screen using Loom or Vidyard, and then ask a team member to watch the video and document the process. Just take your time and slowly build that resource over time. Step number 4, onboard with intention. Now, onboarding is your chance to set your team up for success. When I bring on a new team member, I start with a one-on-one Zoom session where we go over our mission, values, and expectations. This sets the tone for everything moving forward. I also use ActiveCampaign to automate an onboarding email sequence that checks in with them during their first 3 months. These emails include FAQs and tips so that they feel empowered right away. For example, one email might share a guide to handling common client questions, while another provides insight into our company culture. The goal is to make sure they feel supported from day one. And finally, step number 5, empower through trust. You have to let go and trust your team. This can be hard. But when you've hired the right people, given them the tools they need, and clearly communicated your expectations, it's time to step back. Let me share a quick example from my business. So some of my former students now work with other teachers that I've hired, and honestly, they're thriving. In fact, many of them prefer their new teachers over me. And I'll be honest, initially, my ego took a little bit of a hit when that happened, but the reality of the situation is I've hired some amazing teachers that can give my students an even better experience than I can. And that's when you know you've arrived. And the same is true for my admin team. They handle almost every issue without me, and they often solve problems in ways I wouldn't have thought of myself. Mistakes will happen, but nothing is ever unfixable. Every misstep is a learning opportunity for both the team member and for the business. I hope today's episode gave you the clarity and inspiration you need to start building a team that can truly support you and give you the freedom to step away when you need to. It's not easy and it takes time, but it is absolutely possible to create a business that thrives without you being involved in every little detail. If you're still in the trenches of doing it all yourself, know that I've been there too, but you don't have to stay there. By identifying the roles you need, hiring for fit, systemizing your processes, onboarding with intention, and empowering your team through trust, you can create the freedom you've been craving. If I can step away to enjoy 2 precious 4-month maternity leaves with my babies, I know you can build a business that allows you to do the same. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode and how you plan to start building your Rockstar team. Share your insights with me by DMing me on Instagram at the Blissful Mompreneur. And if you are pregnant and planning for maternity leave, don't forget to grab my free 6-step maternity leave planning guide. It covers everything from how much time to take off to creating a financial plan. And you'll find the link to the guide in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a fellow mompreneur who might benefit from the advice. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and leave a comment below letting me know your biggest takeaway. It helps me reach more amazing women just like you. Thank you again for being here, and until next time, keep pursuing your bliss.